Hey, you guys, welcome to this episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. Okay, a lot of us got used to shopping online or, that no contact delivery during the pandemic. But if you're like me or a classic millennial 90s kid, sometimes you just miss the good old days at the mall, doing some shopping in person. And I get lots of questions from you guys about what is best. Is it best to try to stay on budget shopping online or going in person? So today I want to share with you my pros and cons for shopping in person and online. So is one method better than the other? Or are they all kind of the same? Well, we're going to find out. So for some, shopping is a hobby, which if you're not careful, there's a risk of overspending there. But for others, it feels like a chore that they dread. So whichever camp you're in, there are tons of different methods to choose from. So you can shop online, in store, on an app, pickup, delivery on the curbside. You can do subscriptions. We have lots of options here. So let's take a look at all the different variables that go into these. All right, here are some online pros. There are online-only deals during certain times of the year or promotional periods. And I think that this is a great idea because, again, maybe you get a code or have online exclusives that you can get a better deal than in person. So make sure to check those out. Also, you can read reviews from other customers before you buy. Now, sometimes, people are like, these reviews aren't real. But after a while, you can kind of get a feel of like, okay, is this good? Is it not? And so I love that. I love being able to read reviews and see what people think. Also, convenience. This is my favorite. No parking, driving time, checkout line, crowds, all of that. You just shop online. It shows up at your doorstep. You may have to have a little patience, wait a few days, but it's so nice, so easy. And then also the easy price comparison. So I love this. You can pull up multiple websites, multiple vendors, see the different prices. Most of the time they're pretty consistent, but every now and again you'll see one that is lower. And as long as it's not a fake or a dupe or something, you're able to get a good deal, which is awesome. All right, here are some online cons. Sometimes there are extra fees like shipping, delivery, all of that. So, don't you hate that? When you get a whole cart full of stuff and then they're like $7 for shipping. Sometimes I'm just like, forget it. I can't pay for it. I don't know why. I hate paying for shipping. Also, less control, like rough packaging or delivering. You can't pick out your produce at the grocery store. And I do hate this because I do a lot of online grocery shopping and then it gets delivered to the house. That is one thing that I have stuck with since the pandemic because it's been so easy for our family. But just last week I got strawberries and two of them had mold on them. I'm like, man, I wouldn't have picked those, but this shopper did, which kind of was like a bummer. But again, it's a con. Also, decision fatigue. There are just so many choices online. If you're going to go shop for a black sweater, oh my gosh, there's endless supplies of them. So sometimes it can get overwhelming. Also, complicated returns or even it costs money to return something. Like if you have to ship something back, that's a hassle, not fun. And then also sometimes you're forced to buy in bulk and you end up having to pay more for an item you want because it comes in a pack of 5 versus just that one thing. All right, before I talk about the in-store pros and cons, I want to tell you about Telestrations. So Telestrations is a really fun board game, you guys. Think about the old school game of telephone and Pictionary. Put it together and you got Telestrations. So if you're a terrible drawer like me, it is still a really fun game. It creates a lot of laughter, a lot of fun. I really encourage you guys to get a great board game like Telestrations, especially if you're getting out of debt or saving up an emergency fund because it will save you money instead of going out, have people to your house and have a game night. It's really great. So you can buy Telestrations at Walmart or wherever you buy board games. All right, here are some in-store pros. The ability to touch, feel, and even try on the item. And this is huge. This is, especially when it comes to clothes. I have found one person that literally we have the same body. So anything she wears, I'm like, okay, I feel like that's how it's going to look on me. So that's helpful. But sometimes you get stuff online and you're like, how in the heck does it look like this? It's just terrible. Versus if you were in the store and you tried it on, you'd be like, this is terrible. I'm not buying it. So that is a huge, huge pro. Also, fewer hurdles to jump through when making an exchange. So you don't have to pack the item back, print out the label, all of that. You just take it back in person and you're good to go. Also, no delayed gratification with deliveries. Sometimes things ship 4 to 6 weeks out and you're like, oh my gosh. When you buy in person, you get to take it home and it's all right there, which is very convenient. And then also confident purchasing because you're making your decision right there in the store. You have the item in hand, You know you want it, you get your money out, you know you have your money, and you're good to go. So those are some pros. Here are some cons to in-store shopping. It takes more time to shop around at different places instead of just scrolling. So especially those price comparisons like we're talking about. In person, you may have to go to a few different stores to get the prices. Also, clever merch and marketing tactics that you have to watch out for. Yeah, you go into old Target and you end up spending a ton of money when you just need a deodorant and sunscreen. You end up overspending because they know what they're doing. So when you walk into a store, they are brilliant marketers and they know how to get you to spend more money than you were expecting. Also, fighting the crowds and dressing room lines and register lines and all of that, especially during the holiday season. Oh, it's a pain to go into a place and you have to park and you're far away and it's this whole thing, the weather, you're standing in line, just that whole experience does not exist when you online shop. And also the experience of the out-of-stock item. When you see it online, it's a bummer, but in person, when you're going to buy it and it's just not there, you're out of luck. Like, oh, not fun at all. So those are some cons. So again, pros and cons to each of these, but shopping is a part of our everyday life. So I'm curious, after we've talked about these pros and cons, which one stands out as your favorite? So comment below because you may see a con or a pro that you're like, oh yeah, this is for real. This is really me. Because again, we all have to spend money in shops. We want to do it to the best of our budget and be wise about it. Ultimately, the best way to decide how you need to shop is to start with a plan for your money. So a budget does this. A budget gives you the ability to spend your money exactly how you want to because you're the one planning it out, deciding, hey, here is where my income is going. So if you've not downloaded the Every Dollar app, do it today. There's a free version and a premium version, but I guarantee you will find more peace for your next shopping experience when you do it on a budget. When you see that line item for clothing, you know exactly what to buy, or groceries, or whatever it is that you're buying. You know how much money you have and you can spend with such freedom and peace. So make sure to send this video to a friend who loves a good sale or online or in-person shopping. And remember, you guys, to take control of your money and create a life you love.